Hey, funnel builders, how are you doing? I am delighted to be joined by Stephanie and Melissa from Cultivating Sales. Stephanie, Melissa, how are you guys doing?
Doing
Yeah.
great. Living
All
the
right.
life in Wisconsin.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Cultivating Sales is obviously your agency, right?
Yeah, where I went really wild.
Yep.
Cultivating Sales Pro.
I know, crazy. Yeah. What I want to talk with Stephanie and Melissa about is how to get the most out of high level. Stephanie and Melissa have basically put together a system that just crushes what high level is capable of. But before we get into that, guys, how did you come to where you are now? Why are you doing this rather than just sticking to the agency and the SaaS side?
I think we needed it. We've worked with lots of different helpers along the way. We've seen this over and over with VAs for many, many years, is that they can't possibly know how to use all the software. They often say they know how to do it, and their intent is they're probably a pretty fast learner and all that. They feel like they can get in there and figure it out. Invariably, as we all know, high level is quite the monster, a good monster. But we got frustrated with shuffling through a whole bunch of people to try to figure out who actually knew the platform. Never really had any luck with that. The way we run our agency is we were SaaS from day one, and we've been in high level for 3.5 years now. We were early birds into the whole platform before we had much of anything.
Basically, I think where you were going with that is that there's a lot of people, like in the beginning, throughout, now, everywhere, that they know parts of the system, they know all of the system, they know none of the system, and like all of that is great. We need people on all sorts of levels. But then it gets to, okay, can you go do this? And it's crickets, or it's not what you thought it was going to be, or it's just not the level of expectation that was given. That inevitably, the client fails too. And for our point of view, where we saw the original need was our clients that were running their own businesses in our SaaS agency, that
Mhm.
they didn't know how to do everything. They shouldn't do everything. They're entrepreneurs, they're small businesses. They should be the ones doing the business, not like building it necessarily on the back end. If the helper failed, well, then the system
Yep.
fails
Yeah.
and we fail. And then we look like the problem, software looks like a problem. People have come to us, oh, I didn't even know it did that. I really need a system that does this. Oh, wait, we do that. Oh, I didn't have any idea. Oh, okay. So, like, have you checked out our newsletters? Have you checked out all of this? Right? There needed to be a more straightforward way of molding the people that we need, because the people that we need are architects. And
Mhm.
this goes into one of our first points, where there's a difference between a VA, a builder, and an architect. A VA is going to be those people that check your email, your calendar, answer emails. And a builder is going to be able to say, okay, hey, I need this built. Here's the information. Here's the copy. Can you build it for me? Great, they can do that. An architect, which is what we're molding people into via this certification program, can say, hey, so here's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm not sure how to do it. And that architect can say, hey, okay, so let's do a form and then a workflow here that'll streamline this, and make it use how to use the software most efficiently for what their client or their team members or whatever, whoever they're working with, is doing it. Because if the helper fails, the client fails, we fail, software fails. By molding people into what we need and what we see our clients need and other high levelers need, hopefully we can bridge that gap.
Yeah, it's a really interesting conundrum that you bring up, because when, as a business owner, you join a piece of software and you understand that basically it's sales and marketing, you're like, awesome, I could use some of that. When you don't know the capabilities of that software, it's almost impossible to tell your team that, right? You almost need to have someone who is on a higher level than you to be able to go, I know you want to do more sales. How about XYZ, rather than just instructing them, right?
Exactly.
That can be the barrier.
Exactly. Because we've had so many conversations about, do we want the client to know nothing about the software and just hire someone? Do we want the client to know a little bit about the software and then hire someone? Or does the client do it all themselves? The answer is all three. It depends on the person, of course. But what we're striving toward is that the client knows enough about the software to say, here, hey, here's what I want to do, because they know what the software can and can't do for the most part. And that architect comes in and says, okay, here's the squeaky clean details and the most efficient way to do what you're thinking of that way.
What was interesting is when we did do the beta launch of this, we were surprised at how many clients wanted to go through it. We
Sure.
thought it was just going to be the VA world and the OBM world and all that. They're like, no, I really want to understand this at a deep level so that I can make decisions for my business. Now that's smart, as opposed to, I don't want to understand it at all. You guys just figure it out. You kind of want to be able to do both, is lead them, but also have them understand. I assumed everybody was a VI buyer.
Right. And I think that's what's so dangerous is when I'm often inside it and people are like, oh my God, how can you do this? I'm like, how did you not know it does this? Then my wife would be like, yes, but you spend like hours in there. It's worlds apart. Some people are just not able to bridge that gap.
The different things there. And one of the things that we're pushing, what product we're delivering here, is our certification program. It's a 3-level program to certify you in the HighLevel or our agency CSP platform. The point of it is to allow you to choose what you want to do with it. If you want to work with other team members, if you want to work with clients, if you want to just learn it yourself so you can run your own business better, whatever that may be, there's so many opportunities there.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because I think the premise of this was like, we can get up and running in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm in this program because when Melissa joined my program, she was like, oh man, some of your HighLevel stuff sucks. And I was like,
Did not say
you didn't say that. She didn't say. And I was like, great, tell me how. And there was stuff that I was missing. And this is stuff that, like I said, I've been using it for not as long as these guys, but I've been using it for a long time. And I was like, it's things I completely missed. What did you say it was? VA Builder Architect?
VA Builder Architect.
There are 3 different levels of how your understanding around it. When someone first logs in, then let's say I'm a VA and I want to start offering HighLevel as a service. I don't necessarily want to have a HighLevel SaaS or even an account. I just want to be able to start offering that to people. Yeah. That's the first level. What do I need to know going into it? Let's say I've had a bit of ClickFunnels and a bit of WordPress and I've had a little bit of ActiveCampaign. What do I need to know going into it then as a VA?
It depends. The beauty of the program is it's taking you from 0 to 100, roughly. Everybody has their strengths in different things, so it's going to change. But you don't have to know anything. You can know a little bit. You could know a lot. We have various different levels of people that have gone through. Actually, my brother just joined last night because he was like, hey, is there any way I can help out? Like,
now, if that's not a ringing endorsement for a brother to say, like, I would want to do that.
He even joined that last night. I think he knows nothing about even what we do yet. So like for him to go through it, I'm really interested to see where his feedback comes from, especially because I know he's going to be completely honest with me. We have 2 ladies, Michelle and Susie, who work with us and have worked with clients with like, they were kind of the architects before we built the whole thing.
We said, we need more of these people.
Yeah, we need more of you.
We don't necessarily do the work with them. We send them to certified builders now, or architects, because we don't even take any of the money or anything. We just say, okay, here's our list. These are the people we recommend you work with, because we want to know that they're in good hands.
Right. The beauty of it is if you're hiring somebody and you're like, okay, for the first week, just go through this program. Great, cool, do that. If you're wanting to learn something, Susie and Michelle, they were our little helpers before we even thought of this. So they're going through it as well, even though they know so much already, and they're still learning stuff. There's always, and I'm still learning stuff. The amount of times where quizzes, because each level there's a quiz where I personally grade. You have to pass each level in order to get to the next one. You have the chance to retry if you fail, and you just keep going. But my ears are burning. It's beautiful that, you can, I'm grading each one. And so I know what your progress is. I can see how you're doing. I can ask those questions. I can follow up with you. I learn so much too, that there's so many ways of accomplishing one thing in HighLevel. That's the beauty of it. But it's also the biggest frustration, because it's okay, what do I do? Right? Yep. There's so many ways to do it, but what do? I don't know what to do. The point of it is to show you what to do and where to start.
We give you a sandbox account. If you don't have an account yet of your own, we give you a sandbox account to play in, because we want you actually going in there and building it. She's not just doing a video saying, okay, here's how you do it. She says, here, how you do it. Now I want you to go in and do it. And then you have to send a Loom video and prove your work. She's tough. And here's why. We want you to be really good at this, because guess what? You can charge more. you can build an easily a 6-figure business doing nothing but working with clients and doing
Which is exactly why we're not taking any of the profit from it, because our profit is helping our clients be successful. So all by one person going through the certification, 3 different businesses are being helped. Theirs, our clients, and ours. And that's the benefit. That's all we're looking for out of this.
What you guys essentially have with the certification is you've got the actual training itself.
Yeah.
On the other side, there is actually the opportunity, am I right in understanding this, that the marketplace, is that what you're calling it?
Directory.
Basically, what we're doing with the directory is kind of like eBay, where we're going to allow anybody to add themselves to our, basically, we call it the hire an automation architect. There we go. Hire an automation architect. And anybody will be able to put themselves in here, but it's obviously going to be highlighting those that are certified, because people are going to need all kinds of things. Some people are good at design, some people are good at workflows, some people are good at other things.
Yep.
But if you really want to save time and probably save money, go right to the certified people. I'm a DIYer, I'm frugal. And for the longest time, I thought I can learn this, it'll be cheaper, blah, blah, blah. And now I realize, oh my gosh, quite honestly, I don't work in the system anymore. I'm just like, Steph can do this in 10 minutes, where it's going to take me 2 hours to learn it. Why am I doing that? Because we feel that the certified people should be able to charge more. Well, if you're going to go in there and get it done and test it and make sure it's working, and then give the client a loom showing how you built it now, how they need to go forward. And that's what she's training them, is how to work with the client on this.
Yeah.
That's just going to be so much faster and better in the long
Yeah.
run. Been there, learned the hard way that not everybody gets this. Like I said, she's tough. She really wants you to learn this stuff.
Because the whole point is learning it from the basics. I think this would be a really great time to talk through the different structures and stuff.
Did you want to share your screen?
There we go.
The why we built it, that we kind of talked about that already. We want to bring experienced builders to assist our clients while creating a path for VAs, builders, architects to create their own businesses. This allows for, like I said, all 3 parties, the client, you, and us, to all benefit. You're making your own business while doing it, or helping your other businesses if you're working with a team and stuff like that. The structure of it is there's 3 levels: silver, gold, and then diamond. Silver is you're learning those basic features. What is the funnel builder? What does it do? What is the workflow builder? What does it do? How do you add domains? How do you, set up your settings and your integrations? We talk through those day-to-day little features and how they work. The silver is going to be the easiest. You're just getting familiar with what everything does and what's available to you. Then in gold, once you pass the silver quiz, you'll automatically get access to gold, where you'll learn now how to take those different features and put them together in different orders to make the most common projects that are usually asked for. Like Melissa said, I've been working with clients for about over 2 years now. I've noticed a lot that pretty much almost any client request is going to boil down to one of the 7 projects that we talk about in gold, which makes it easier, because then you're not having to reinvent the wheel every time when someone comes to you and says, hey, I need to do this. You're saying, okay, so that sounds like an event. Here's how we can just tweak the event process to work for this, for what you're trying to do. It makes it a lot easier and less overwhelming for the person that's building it. Then in diamond, again, once you pass gold, diamond is where we'll actually take, okay, now that you know those projects, you know what everything does, how can you actually apply strategy to it? How can you troubleshoot it? And how can you take actual complex client requests that may not give you all of the information you need? Maybe it is a little half there and you have to ask certain questions of that client. It's actually seeing how you would, in real life, take that client request and build it all the way through. This is the page that you guys will be sent to later if you guys are interested. This is the page with all the info about it. So here's just another look at those 3 different levels. That silver level, I like to say, is learning your ABCs. You can't get anywhere, you can't say anything, you can't communicate unless you know your letters, your ABCs. Once you know your ABCs, gold, you can put those letters together in different orders to make different words. Once you know your words, you can then put them together in different orders to make those complex sentences. You're learning your ABCs, your words, and then your sentences. You're putting them together, learning the different basics, and how to structure them in different ways. Mike, you mentioned that VA, builder, architect. This is where that also gets played out. Whereas in silver, you're learning those easy to accomplish tasks. where you can just be that VA person. Gold, you're being that builder where you can build out a request when given the information. And then diamond is that architect that will actually help strategize with you.
I think that final level is what's most interesting to me, because when I have some of our clients approach me, and it's usually based around leads bottleneck, sales bottleneck, operations bottleneck, right? And they're like, oh, we've got this problem. They know what they want the outcome to be. They know they just want to see one of those numbers go up. When one of our guys goes on there and says, well, what we could do is we could start even the dumb stuff, like we could start automating just like some follow-up just to generate more sales. I remember one clear case where we set up an email sequence and they were like, you need to turn this off because we're getting too many inbound calls now. I was like, okay, well, we fixed that problem then. They didn't even know that that was possible for something to ask for, because it sounds insane to say that I want to have too many phone calls coming in. Whereas we were like, it's basically 2 emails and a text message sent to this tag, and they don't know what to ask for. But when you're there and able to say, how do you want to feel almost? Well, I'm going to turn that into a physical thing.
What are you trying to accomplish? And that architect is going to help you get there the most efficient way. Of course, when you're first certified, if I could take a flash drive of my brain and, you know, give it to everybody, I would. But there's always that experience that comes with it afterward. But that's where we want to have that database where you're easy to find and you can, you know, start that reputation right away. This is that what's included. It is a work at your own pace course. You get out of it what you put into it. If you are putting a lot of time aside and really diving deep, you're going to get as much out of it as you can. The only downtime that is not work at your own pace is the time that it takes me to grade each quiz. Usually I try to do that as soon as possible. You unlock the next level when you pass the previous one. You have access to the educational videos, transcripts, workbooks, and more. There's a bunch of different workbooks and stuff in there. Like Melissa mentioned, you get access to your own builder account in our agency. You can break, test, build, or you can build in your own GHL or CSP account if you want. We have 3 times a week, weekly open office hours, 2 of which are for our clients, but people are welcome to come and listen. And Thursdays are for certification people only. And we have those one-on-one recap meetings throughout the program for us, me and you, to one-on-one connect and talk about your progress. You get that real certificate, and then you can always add yourself to the builders directory that we have built and are currently revamping and making a lot stronger as well. That is what is included. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. This is that roadmap. You start at silver, take the silver quiz, go to gold, take gold, go to diamond, take diamond. Then once you're certified, you can add yourself to our directory or marketplace. You can sign up as a CSP client if you want to keep your builder account for any reason. And you can start, you know, promoting yourself, taking clients, earning money, and build your own processes in your account. That is the roadmap for that.
It's pretty comprehensive. You obviously have the training, but again, as you mentioned, there's contact, which is so important.
I'd love to show you guys just like a sneak peek of like the outline of the courses. It's actually really exciting. I've built this. There's the 3 different levels.
Yeah, awesome.
And this is that silver level where we talk about those. I'll even preview it so you can see the fancy CSS from Tom Bristol that I stole. We talk about those greetings, the introductions, expectations, and we also talk about when there are updates, because inevitably, as we all know, that the HighLevel, they update things all the time. I wish I could make those videos automatic, but I can't. Any updates, they'll be posted here, talked about here, as well as in each individual level. Then, of course, we will update the videos as we can as well. Then we talk about that getting started, logging in, understanding your settings, all of that. We talk through the main features of the software, conversations, pipelines, all of that. The builders, so these are the longer videos. All of the videos are about 15 minutes or under. These builder ones are a little bit longer just because they're more comprehensive. They're bigger features. Of course, they're going to take a little bit longer, but we try to keep the videos pretty bite. And that reporting as well. This is just familiarizing yourself with what the features are, what the software does. Even if you know all of this, we still encourage you to go through all 3 levels. You never know what you might learn. So it's always awesome learning experience there. For gold, it looks the same as the other one, but we talk through those main 7 different project types that are most the base of different client requests. Then that diamond is that strategy, troubleshooting, and then different strategy challenges where those are those active client requests that you may or may not have all the information for, or you may have to ask questions, or you may not know what to do, or stuff like that.
Don't get into is the whole agency thing. HighLevel has so many different ways to get that help. Mailgun help, Twilio help, setting up your white label, all that. The university that was launched not that long ago gets into all that. We're not going to get into that. That's what we're really talking about, is how do you use the software every day to run your business or help a client run their business.
Training tool. If you just want to hire someone, and like I said, for the first week, just sit down and do this. That's what Austin's doing. When my brother started, it's really just what you put into it. It's really exciting that way.
That's awesome. Again, it's comprehensive and it's layered in a way that helps you. Those foundations, you're building on what you've learned previously, which I think is so important. And I want to talk about, because we're offering a bunch of bonuses and a whole bunch of extra stuff. First of all, I just want to make sure I understand silver, gold, and diamond. Those are just levels within the program. It is actually just one program, one course, right?
Correct.
Cheryl here says, I have a HighLevel account that I honestly forgot about. Would I be able to use this account with your program?
Yeah, again, you get a free builder account whenever you sign up. It's your choice if you want to build stuff in there or not. The point of it is, let's say you have that HighLevel account. Let's say you didn't forget about it. You had a bunch of stuff in there and you didn't want to build all this certification crap and mess up all of your stuff. You can do that in that builder account where you can break and mess up whatever you want and it won't matter. We have another HighLeveler, Heidi Miller, in our program right now. She's actively building her stuff in her HighLevel account, so then she can then go and use that later for herself, for clients, stuff like that. You're paying for the course, you're paying for that knowledge. That knowledge will stay with you for a lifetime, hopefully. But what you do with it is your choice after you've taken it in and absorbed it.
Thank you for that. What do you think some of the mistakes are that people make when they sign up to it and they say, either I want to use this for my business, or I understand that I could start offering this as a service to people? What are some of the mistakes you find that people make with HighLevel in particular?
I've been following Mike for several years now and have bought many of his individual programs. Now I've actually signed on to be coached with him, and I've got work to do. He asked me this morning, how's it going? And I said, well, I haven't gotten into it yet. Number one problem is going to be, and I warned Steph in advance that I'm going to say this, is don't sign up for it if you're not going to do the work. I have already scheduled out in my calendar. I had to get through some previous commitments, but now I've got it scheduled in my calendar to work on Mike's stuff, because guess what? It ain't going to get done if I don't do it.
HighLevel and certification.
My goal. I don't get to my goal. The whole reason I'm working with Mike is because I want to achieve something I haven't achieved yet. I got to do the work. So I think people are hoping for an easy button, and this is not an easy button. You still have to go in and do the work. I wish I could be a marketer and say, oh yeah, just buy it, it'll solve all your world's problems, and no, you got to do the work.
How long is the program? That's up to you. That is totally up to you. You can go through it fast if you're dedicating that time. Spread it out over a couple months if you need to. We do offer full price and a 3-payment plan. He just put that link to that page. Feel free to check that out. And that's where all the information we're talking about is. The other mistakes, I think, with HighLevel is people trying to do it too fast. It's great that you're excited. It's great that you're eager. We love that. But just slow down a little bit. Figure out what you want your agency to be if you're doing an agency, and then get yourself situated, and then come to the certification when you're ready to actually start learning the program or training someone else or hiring somebody for that program. But slow down, I think, is one of my biggest ones for everybody.
That's interesting. Again, with what you guys offer, what I have found the most powerful way for me to take certifications and trainings, and I still do a ton of them, is after I've taken some of the self-paced stuff, the second I can get on those group calls, those one-on-one calls, and even just talk about my experience, it's like learning it twice. I think if you want to get through it quickly, you actually need to have those conversations with other people in the group.
It's amazing because that Heidi student that I was mentioning, she's shown up to every open office hour. Within the first week, she was already in gold. She has been a powerhouse through it, and she's been super excited. And it's really awesome to see that growth of people and seeing the people that have gone through so far and Marie was a client that just got certified. She's a client of ours as well. She was like, I'm going back now and looking at my stuff. Oh my God. She's like, I she's like, and now it's so cool because I can look at it. I know what I did wrong. I know what's wrong with it. I know how to fix it. She was like, and I'm so excited. And she comes to open office hours and answers questions for other people now.
Yeah.
It's great. I encourage that. I'm there every step of the way. Like I said, I'm sending those emails. I'm offering those meetings here and there when people need it. I'm there the whole time. It's just me and them. Because I've put so much work up front to make this whole thing basically run itself, I mean it. I mean it that I'm there. I'm not just like, oh,
Yeah.
like I literally, because I don't have to be teaching every little thing and all of that, I'm able to spend my time actually helping, which is where I really like. The typical learning curve. Yeah. So again, that's the hardest question we really get because it really, really depends on you. But 6 weeks is definitely a very, very, very achievable time frame. We've had people that have finished before that. We have people that it's been 6 months and they haven't even started anything because like we've talked about, you got to do the work. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to get anywhere in it. That's the other beauty of the program. You can't finish it until you do it.
I think what I've found is
You do it.
less of a case of how quickly could we get through it, but more what my team were coming back with quickly, as in they were coming back to me within a day or two saying, did you know we could do this? I was like, no, I did not. That's super useful. It's less to do with the time length.
Well, Steph, you spent time with Matt yesterday. Matt's been a client of ours for a couple years now. And when she was showing them some of the things that she's working on, because he wants to bring us in on a big client now, he's like, I can't believe how much they keep adding to it. And that's what we love HighLevel. I mean, what they've built in a short period of time is absolutely miraculous. It's frustrating because we're always redoing the
I was gonna say I do hate them,
but that's her whole function, is to keep up on this. And we feel that if we can give clients people that are certified to work with, everybody's going to be happy.
It's not just
doing their own stuff. In the long run,
someone asked us about the GHL University yesterday, and those are great videos. They're great overviews, but having workbooks that talk about what every trigger in the workflow builder is and what it does. An example of this is something that I built.
The workflow Bible, and it's all there for you to download. We've also built, and we did it in electronics, so you'll get access to it there. This planning sheet, I built it, so I think it's brilliant.
You can download them and print them out. Just do it e-file
in a Word doc, in Google Docs or something. But the whole point is, when you're interviewing your client, what is the project? What's the launch date? What are the deliverables going to be? What's your pricing? What's your sales goal? How are you going to promote this? I need to know that. What are the pieces? Are we going to need a form? Are we going to need a calendar? Are we going to need a pipeline?
We do have a lot of different workbooks in there as well that you can take with you. It's not just a collection of videos. Yes, there's videos, but because it's a very visual platform, I'm sorry, but I can't really not do anything without videos that way. But it's not just those videos. It's the transcriptions. It's the weekly live meetings you can come to and ask questions. The first days are pretty small right now. If you get in now, you can get a lot more one-on-one time with me, which is really cool. Workbooks about how to add domains, what the differences are, the membership, the workflow builder, like mentioned. I'm super ADHD organized.
With workflows and workbooks.
Nothing made me happier than, because the whole reason she came to work with me is a couple of years ago in 2020, when COVID hit, she was off at college. And I said, well, hey, move home this summer. I can give you work. Nobody in this family knows what I do. They think I just laugh all day. Have fun.
I did not know what.
She did not know what I did. It was about 3 weeks in, and she goes, "I just look forward to getting up every morning. This is
still do.
Much
it's been 2 years, and I still do."
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, the energy that you guys have, your enthusiasm for the product, that comes across, and also on the other side, it's easy to be energetic, but also the dedication and the attention to detail, I think, as well, in that you're like, this is how you can do all this stuff, as you mentioned, almost to a fault, because anytime they release a new feature, you're like, right, let's hit it up. We've got some more training with Chase about the social media stuff.
Yeah.
I think this Friday. I'm like, sure, just add that into the platform. We're also offering, guys, by the way, anyone who picks this up, first of all, that's the URL down there, certificationcultivating.sales.com. If your business is divided into 3 areas, sales and marketing, operations and delivery, and administration, operations and delivery can essentially be taken care of with this program and certification, which either means you can plug it into other people's businesses and be the operations and delivery, or you can essentially make sure that that part of the business is taken care of for you, for your workers. It's extremely powerful to have that 1/3 taken up. I am also offering, for anyone who buys based off this call, the bonuses. We've got a funnel sales boot camp, which is basically how to sell marketing funnels to your customers in terms of pitching it, closing it, writing it up. If you then want to think, okay, well, actually, this is what I want to do. I want to start getting some clients for it rather than just having 1 or 2 referrals. I will include that. If you contact Melissa or Stephanie or me or whoever, we will set you up with that training, however we want to do that. Before we kind of sign off, guys, and head off, is there anything in particular? Oh, here's another question from Nick. Do we have access to the training? Is it lifetime?
Yeah, right now it is lifetime. If you get in now, you will not lose access unless you don't pay for some reason. But if you do pay, you get that lifetime access. Anytime that there's new content, we literally did this. I sent this out yesterday. Anytime there's new content, I will send out a video or an email to everybody that in the certification saying, hey, there's new content for you. You can always come back and watch updated videos, watch new videos. If you're working with someone and you're like, wait, how did I do that? I think I saw a video.
Oh, and the nice thing about that is because we have the transcripts, you can go into the transcript and say, okay, somewhere I know she was talking about this. Oh, it's at 3 minutes.
Yeah, and that's another point as to why we found those workbooks and transcripts and checklists very valuable, because not everybody is a visual learner, and that's okay. The pricing, Nick, is so it's $19.97 full price. We do offer a 3-payment plan if you would like. And if you are not already signed up for HighLevel, if you sign up under Cultivating Sales, Melissa and I, you can get up to $500 off on the certification. That means getting it for $1,500 instead of $19.97. If you're interested in that, just reach out to me directly, Stephanie at cultivatingsales.com. We can talk more about what that would look like for you. But yeah, everything else is on that page, that certification.cultivatingsales.com.
Guys, this has been an absolute blast. I cannot believe we've already been doing this for 42 minutes. I'm stoked at just talking to you guys about it. In the meantime, like I said, guys, you're all tagged in here. Melissa, I'm fairly certain you're even in the Facebook group. Stephanie, I'm sure we'll figure out ways of getting in contact with you.
Yeah.
Guys, if you have questions for me, just shoot me an email or shoot me a PM via Facebook. Other than that, thank you so much for taking us through that, guys. What you guys have built is just phenomenal, and with the marketplace as well, to allow people to actually use the certification. It's one thing to train people up, it's another to create a directory to actually say these are who we rate and allow a merit-based system like that.
We're planning on doing badges later too. If there's a really big new calendar system, we'll do a workshop on that. If you come, you can get that badge, which gives that upper level to other people. If you guys have any questions on anything, feel free to reach out to me directly, or there's a chat widget on that page that comes straight to us.
It's powered by this crazy piece of software. It's amazing.
Yeah,
all right, guys. Cheers, guys. Bye now.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.